Texas Cosmetology Written Exam Practice Test 2. Tissue that binds together, protects, and supports various parts of the body is A. Connective, B. Muscular, C. Nerve, D. Epithelial. The cranium is made up of how many bones? A. 6, B. 8, C. 7, D. 12. The lower jawbone, which is the largest and strongest bone of the face and forms the lower jaw, is called the A. Zygomatic, B. Maxillae, C. Hyoid, D. Mandible. The clear layer of the epidermis that consists of small transparent cells through which light can pass is called the A. Stratum Corneum, B. Stratum Lucidum, C. Stratum Germinativum, D. Stratum Granulosum. The dermis is made up of two layers, which are the A. Papillary and Reticular, B. Stratum Corneum and Stratum Lucidum, C. Stratum Granulosum and Epidermis, D. Papillary and Corneum. A small discolored spot or patch on the surface of the skin, such as a freckle, is A. Papule, B. Macule, C. Tubercle, D. Wheal. As we age, the elastin fibers naturally blank, causing wrinkling of the skin. A. Sag, B. Lengthen, C. Harden, D. Weaken. The technical term for a wart is A. Nevus, B. Vitiligo, C. Verruca, D. Keratoma. The skin that surrounds the nail plate is the A. Nail wall, B. Nail fold, C. Cuticle, D. Nail body. The thin layer of tissue that attaches the nail bed to the nail plate is the A. Eponychium, B. Lunula, C. Bed epithelium, D. Free edge. Darkening of the fingernails or toenails is called A. Melanonychia, B. Paronychia, C. Tinea, D. Leukonychia. Tinea Pedis is the medical term for A. Ingrown nails, B. Ringworm of the scalp, C. Fungal infection of feet, D. Honeycomb ringworm. Colors achieved by mixing equal parts of two primary colors are called blank colors. A. Tertiary, B. Neutral, C. Protein, D. Secondary. One purpose of the client consultation in a hair removal service is for the client to disclose blank. A. Vitamins taken, B. Major surgeries, C. Financial status, D. Allergies and sensitivities. Blank is the process of removing hair by pulling it out of the follicle. A. Epilation, B. Rubbing, C. Depilation, D. Exfoliation. What is the age requirement to be eligible to obtain a cosmetology license in the state of Texas? A. 21, B. 18, C. 17, D. 16. Where should your cosmetology operator license be displayed? A. At home. B. In storage. C. It does not need to be. D. Place of business or employment. During inspection, TDLR inspects public safety, licensing, and blank. A. Haircuts. B. Sanitation. C. Social media status. D. Books. When are normal inspections performed? A. During business hours. B. Weekends only. C. When scheduled. D. Never. After inspection, if the inspector found items that are non-compliance or violations, the owner must submit corrections within how many days? A. 2 days. B. 10 days. C. 7 days. D. 14 days. The licensee shall notify the department of any name change no later than blank after the change. A. 7 days. B. 30 days. C. 14 days. D. 60 days. A technique of using diagonal lines by cutting hair ends with a slight increase or decrease in length is called A. Beveling, B. Blunt cutting, C. Graduating, D. Layering. When cutting a high elevation cut, the hair is held at blank from the head, form and cut to the desired length. A. 45 degrees, B. 60 degrees, C. 0 degree, D. 90 degree. The process of removing bulk without shortening the length is called A. Texturizing, B. Elevating, C. Shortening, D. Shingling. When the hair is wrapped at an angle 90 degrees perpendicular to its base section, it will result in A. Half off base placement, B. On base placement, C. On stem placement, D. Off base placement. Before you can properly disinfect, you must first A. Sterilize, B. Use autoclave, C. Rinse scrub with soap and water, D. Use EPA. Blank is a level of decontamination which is second only to sterilization. A. Cleaning, B. Sanitation, C. Disinfection, D. Extermination. The effectiveness in which a disinfecting solution kills germs when used according to the label is known as A. Disinfection, B. Efficacy, C. Sterilization, D. Decontamination. Completely destroying all microbial life, including bacterial spores, is called A. Cleaning, B. Laundering, C. Sterilizing, D. Sanitizing. Quats is a short term for salon disinfectant known as A. Quaternary antiseptic compounds, B. Quaternary antiseptic solutions, C. Quaternary ammonium treatments, D. Quaternary ammonium compounds.